Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel World of Knowledge. Today we are going to discuss about William Shakespeare's Tempest. Let's start. Alonso, King of Naples, was returning to his homeland after attending the wedding of his daughter to a foreign prince. He had in his company Duke Antonio of Milan and a few other gentlemen of the court. There was a certain island in the sea whose only inhabitants were an old man named Prospero and his beautiful and young daughter named Miranda. She had arrived at the island at such an early age that she had no memory of any other face or except that of her father's. The father and daughter lived in a cave. They divided the cave into a number of apartments, one of which was called a study. Prospero kept his books on this apartment, which mainly dealt with magic, a subject to which at that time all men of learning wanted to know. Prospero found the language of this art very useful to him. The island had been enchanted by a witch called Sycorax, who died there shortly after Prospero arrived. Through magic, Prospero freed many good spirits that Sycorax had imprisoned in the large trees. The spirits had been imprisoned because they had refused to perform evil deeds for her. The chief among the good spirits imprisoned was Ariel. Ariel was a good spirit who was mischievous enough to continuously torment Caliban, an ugly monster. Caliban was the son of Sycorax. Prospero found a Caliban in the wood. He had a strange body which looked more like that of an ape rather than that of a human being. Prospero brought him to his cave and taught him to speak. Prospero wanted to be kind to him, but Caliban had inherited his mother's bad nature and refused to learn anything good and useful. Prospero had no option other than to employ him as a slave to fetch woods from the jungle and do other manual labor. Prospero detailed Ariel to be in charge of Caliban and forced him to do the manual work properly. Ariel was invisible to every person other than Prospero. When Caliban was lazy in his work, Ariel would come and pinch him and sometimes even push him down the floor. After that, Ariel would take the form of an ape and make ugly faces at him. Ariel would then quickly take the form of a hedgehog and lie in Caliban's way. Caliban was very scared of the hedgehog because its sharp quills pierced his bare feet. With a number of similar tricks, Ariel managed to torment Caliban whenever he neglected the work. Prospero could also manage to command the winds and the waves of the sea through such powerful spirits as Ariel. He created a violent storm in the sea in which the ship of Alonso was sailing. He wanted to show his daughter a magnificent and large ship. He told her that the ship contained human beings like her. Miranda was greatly distressed at seeing the pitiable state of the ship, which was being tossed by the violent sea waves. She did not want the ship to be destroyed. Prospero assured her that no harm would come to the ship or its sailors. Through his magic, Prospero managed to draw the ship bearing King Alonso and Duke Antonio near the island on which he and Miranda lived. He ordered Ariel to bring every member of the ship safely ashore, but either singly or in small groups. Ariel lured Ferdinand, Alonso's son, to follow him to Prospero's cell. Miranda had not seen the face of any other man apart from her father. She fell in love with Ferdinand the moment her eyes saw the handsome prince. Ferdinand too fell in love with the beautiful Miranda at first sight. Prospero was happily pleased to see the two in love, but he concealed his happiness and spoke harshly to Ferdinand. Prospero wanted to test Ferdinand's ability to do all jobs in order to establish his true mettle. Alonso was convinced that his son had been drowned. He too drifted ashore in the company of Sebastian, Antonio, and Gonzalo. They walked with immense sorrow on the beach of the new island. The greatest despair was in the heart of the king because he thought that his son Ferdinand had drowned in the sea. The invisible Ariel played scared music and lulled everyone to sleep, apart from Sebastian and Antonio. As the two drew away from the group, they planned to kill King Alonso and replace Sebastian as the tyrant king of Naples. The ever watchful Ariel, however, awakened the sleepers before the conspirators could carry out their terrible plan. In the meantime, Miranda had ignored Prospero's order to interrupt Ferdinand in his task of collecting wood. The two made vows of love to each other. Ferdinand's disposition and constancy in love so pleased Prospero that he decided to leave the two young people well alone. Accompanied by Ariel, Prospero decided to produce a mock banquet before Alonso and his followers. The banquet, however, vanished the moment the hungry castaways got ready to luxurious in its rich dishes. Then Ariel took the shape of a harpy and rebuked them for the plot to kill Prospero. Alonso got convinced that Ferdinand, his son, had to die due to his own sins, thus made him patience or regression for his cruel act. Prospero returned to his rocky cell and freed Ferdinand from his labor. Suddenly, Prospero remembered that Caliban and his two co-conspirators had plotted to kill him. He ordered Ariel to go and punish the drunken conspirators. Ariel tempted the conspirators with a display of royal clothes and he then asked his fellow spirits to take the shape of fierce hunting dogs and drive Caliban and his friends away from the place. The spirits did as asked, and the three were driven through bogs and briar patches in the extreme pain. Once Prospero was convinced that Alonso, king of Naples, and Antonio, his wicked younger brother, had repented sufficiently for their wicked deeds of driving him and Miranda out of Naples years ago. He ordered Ariel to lure them into the enchanted circle created by him in front of his cell. Ariel did as ordered with beautiful music. Antonio, Gonzalo, and Sebastian were surprised to see Prospero in front of them, and that too wearing the clothes of Duke of Milan. Prospero told Antonio that he indeed was the deposed Duke of Milan. He asked Antonio to restore his dukedom to him. He also warned Sebastian with dire consequences if he plotted against the king. After that, he took the repentant Alonso into his cell, where he found his son Ferdinand playing chess with Miranda. The king was beyond himself with joy on seeing his son alive. He was also captivated by the extreme beauty of Miranda. While the king was rejoicing with his son, Ariel arrived with the captain and boatswain of the ship that had been wrecked by the storm. They arrived and gave the happy news that the ship was safe and ready to sail once again. The three drunken louts were then brought in by Ariel, and Prospero freed them as well from his magic spell. He ordered Caliban to cook food for guests. He then invited Antonio and Alonso to spend the night in his cave. The next day, Prospero departed from the island along with Antonio, Alonso, Miranda, Ferdinand, and other members of the wrecked ship. They planned to sail for Milan, where Prospero was to be restored his dukedom. Prior to leaving for Milan, Prospero freed Adel from his magic charm so that he could wander at will. Adel promised calm seas and good winds to the sailors for the journey of Naples and Milan, where Miranda was to be married to Ferdinand after Prospero once again became the Duke. Okay, thank you for watching this video. If this video is helpful to you, please do like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.